Welcome back to the garage. Today's job, we're going to disconnect this Amal carburetor and we're going to take it apart, clean all the jets out. So first job's going to be to get it off the bike. So basically I need to disconnect this fuel pipe here, but these have been put on with crimps. So I'm just going to disconnect it off the top fuel pipe, make sure the fuel tap's locked for the tank, disconnect these two bolts, take the throttle cable off, and I'll meet you on the bench where we'll start working on it. Right then, so we've got the carburetor on the bench. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take it apart. I've got my manual here, you can just about see. So take it apart, lay it out on this clean cloth, check all the jets, check all the needles, etc. And then from there, we'll work out what I need to do to sort it out. So it just needs a good clean, I think. I've got another technical book here that tells you all the sizes of what the jets should be. So I'm hoping everything's okay. So first thing to do is get this cap off, and then we'll get down to the needle and away from there. So I'll speed up little sections because you don't want to see me undoing bolts, but basically I'm just going to take this Amal carburetor apart. Before I start though, I'll just tell you it's a 375. Where's the lens? Over here. There's some engraving on here. 375/34, which is something to do with the ball there, but I don't know what it is. Right, let's get this cap off. It does seem to be a mixture of metric and imperial on this, and I don't know why. I'm going to work left to right so I can keep it in track. Right. Alright, okay. The cap, spring brings out the slider. And then we've got this is called the throttle needle, and then that's the throttle slide. So the spring comes off. Then in here, you can see that on that camera. Got a little clip there. You pull the little clip out, and that traps the needle. Now there should be, there's the throttle slide, stay on there. There should be a number on the throttle side from what I can gather. It just says needle position number 3, so there's some grooves on there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so that's bang in the centre on that. And there is something written on it. I think that's a B. It's written at the top. But I mean, it looks pretty straight. So that's that. It's all it's very mucky, extremely mucky this carb is, so I'm guessing that's why I've had some poor running. I'll take this off. Nope. 7/16. Nope. 9/16. Right. Not too bad in there. This has been crimped on with crimps, you see, so you can't disconnect this pipe. And then you've got a fuel filter. It's quite clean, it's brand new really. That's pretty good. Shift them. Right, next job then. So I'm going to take this off here, which is the float needle assembly in there. There should be a float needle inside that. and it is 13/16 on there. Ooh, that's quite snug, isn't it? Yeah, and you can see just in the bottom there's a float needle. Now there's no number on the float needle, but it does look brand new again. Looks quite in good condition, that. So I'm going to take the tickler off now. That's 7/16. Seems to be, like I say, there's a mixture on this bike of metric and imperial. This is definitely 7/16. No, it's quite loose, that. Just take the tickler off. Now this should be a little plunger, a little spring. Where are you? So you've got a little spring and a plunger that comes out the housing. I was going to keep it together for now. Tickler assembly. Right, let's have a look inside the float bowl. Just take the float cover off. You can see the gaskets are really quite worn. That one's split. That's no use. That one's split as well. And you've got the cover. It's alright, to be fair. And inside the float, you've got a little float here, which the needle jet was sitting on. There's a little lever. But I've watched a few videos on this, and I've read in the manuals there's a little spacer cap here. You can just see, if I can just turn that so there's some light on it, that little brass fin there. You pick that out. And there we are. You don't want to lose that. And then the float just comes out. Not in bad condition really. You can see there's a little tide mark where the fuel is, obviously. And then that's the little cap. Where are you? That little indent there. It's where the needle float sits on the bottom. And pushes up and down. Anyway, that's the float. So inside the float bowl, again, it's quite grubby. So I've got some carb cleaner, so what I'm going to do is once I finish stripping this, I've got myself some plastic tubs, I'm just going to give it a good clean out. There's no point filming that, I'll bring the video back when we do it back up, but next job's got to get these off. These are your main jets, so this one is the throttle stop screw. So I watched another video, the tip is to wind it in half a turn at a time. Write that down, then when you rebuild it, bottom it out and come back out that many turns. Then it should be in the same position, because this carb didn't seem to be running too bad. So I've got half, one, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5. So 5.5 dead, that is. And that is the throttle stop screw at 5.5. So I'm just going to write that down. I'm going to back that out now and have a look at it. There's a spring on there. From what I've read, the spring is to stop any vibration making it undo. So it's basically a self-locking spring really. Right, so the throttle stop screw, out she comes. There's no numbers on that. That just puts up against the slide, which there is a little indent on the slide there, sorry, and that's its job. So that's the throttle stop screw. So next we've got the pilot air screw. Again, count the turns in and then back it all out. So I'm looking at roughly 10 o'clock there. So we've got half, 1, 1.5 screw turns for that. And then we'll back that out. Again, it's all filthy dirty, but it's all good. And then just next to it is a jet blocking screw. We'll take that out. From what I can gather, it doesn't really do anything. It blocks the jets off, but if I want to get some carb cleaner in here, I need to get this shifted. So that's that off. So next we've got the pilot jet, which lives in this bit here. So take the cover off. Miles too big. Right. Nope. So that seems to be 9mm. Oh, I don't know. Weird. Right. Little cap. And then in there is your jet. It's lamped all the way up like this. Yep. So we'll just back that straight out and have a look at it without stabbing myself with the screw. Come on. It's a gasket on there. Fibre gasket. Washer, sorry. I've ordered some new fibre washer kit. So hopefully that'll come today and I can get this rebuilt. I mean, it's, again, where are we? Bit of light. It's quite dirty. There's numbers on that. So that is the pilot jet. And according to the manual, the pilot jet should be 25 written on there. So yeah, that's got a 25 on it. So that's good. There we go. So the last thing to do now is this bottom section here, which is your main jet. There's a cap and then the main jet housing, which has got a fibre washer. This was the bit that was weeping on my bike when I came back and had a look. So this, obviously the fibre washer's knackered on this. So we'll just crack that off. So far, none of this carb seemed very tight, so I'm guessing there's been some issues for a while. So there's a cover, and then that is the main jet, which is 5/16. So the main jet's got numbers on as well. It's got Amal written on it. It looks like a brand new main jet. So the main jet's off. The main jet should be for this carburettor. Let's have a quick scan. Which model am I looking at? C15. C15. Bom, 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 bom. Main jet should be a 140. And that's got 140 written on it, so that's correct. And then the next job, get this off the bottom here. Ooh, bit snug. Nice. And that's got numbers on as well. 105. 105, so that's correct. But then that says it should be 1055. So this might be wrong. And then they do come apart according to that manual, so let's see if we can get that to crack off. And there we go. So the jet holder's now free. And then the main jet here says Amal 105. So this has got 105 written on it on the main jet. And according to the manual, the 105 was in the B40. And the B40 is the 350 version of the BSA C15. It was the larger model. This, in this carburetor, should be a 1055. So this, to me, is the wrong jet. Okay, so we shall have a look at that. I'll do a bit of Googling. Anyway, so that's a basic strip of the carburetor. It's quite grubby, disgusting, dirty carb really. So this one needs a good clean up. So I've got some carb cleaner on order. I'm going to go and collect that. So I'm going to end this video as the carburetor strip. So I'll do another video for the carburetor rebuild. So at the moment I've got all the component parts here on the desk. The spring, throttle slide, the actual main needle, which the more I look at it, the more I feel it's slightly bent. I might need to... Yeah, that's pretty true actually. But the jet's wrong. The main jet's wrong. The needle jet, sorry. And the main jet of 140 is correct. This one's got 25 on it, which was... The pilot jet's correct. Yep. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the garage soon for another video when I rebuild this beast. Take care.